You're listening to Talk with Audrey. Well, I know everyone's looking to find ways to save money during this health crisis called COVID-19. One of the ways to do that is to review your financial future by checking your insurance. I have joining me Janet Ruiz. She's Director of Strategic Communication for the Insurance Information Institute. So we're going to find out what we can do when it comes to our insurance coverage. Welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining me, Janet. So when it comes to insurance, let's first talk about the auto insurance industry and how they're responding to this COVID-19 crisis, since most of us have cars.
Right. So many people have their car parked in their driveway right now. And the auto insurance industry has given back $10.5 billion to those people because we're driving less. So, many are giving a premium refund or a discount credit for your future premiums. So it's important to find out what you have. So call your insurance agent and ask what the credit is or how you can get a refund because you're driving less.
Well, it sounds good. So, but do you have to call them for that, or shouldn't they call you to let you know that they're giving it to you? That would be nice.
Well, many are, and the easiest thing to do, of course, is to look on the website and find out exactly what your insurance company's doing. And you're right, you wouldn't have to call them, but, you might want to and make sure that they know that you are driving less. And maybe you're going to be driving less longer than some of the other folks who are going right back to work. Maybe your company said, hey, you can work from home for 6 months. So I just want to make sure people get the most discount that they can on their auto premium.
Right. Do you think that those premiums will go up, after this pandemic crisis is over?
Usually your auto premium goes for a 6-month period. So, if you're going to be driving substantially more miles, if you have that long commute, then it might be a little more expensive, but probably not too much. And then, there's a couple other things you can do, and this might be the reason why you would call your agent. You can get a discount. If you have an older vehicle, maybe you don't want to continue with collision coverage. Maybe that's something you could drop. Or you might want to pick a higher deductible for your car. If you can afford $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for minor incidents, then raise your deductible and your insurance coverage will cost less.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, that sounds good. You guys hear that? I hope so. So the first thing you want to do is call your agent and have a chat with him or her about what you can do to save some money during this time. So is it important, Janet, for people to take a regular inventory of their current insurance policies?
It sure is. And this is a good time for a lot of people if you have a little more time at home and you are thinking of things to do because you can't go out. Get your insurance policies out and take an inventory. Do you have the right amount of home? Do you have the right amount of renter's insurance? Again, we talked a little bit about the auto insurance. Maybe you have a teen driver that's, you can, get a safety feature on your car that will monitor their driving and help them drive better. You can get a discount for that. There's so many things that you may not have paid attention to. You can bundle your home and auto insurance with the same insurance company and often get a discount for that. So it's just a great time to look and see, what do I have? Do I have enough? Do I have the right types of insurance? We call it an insurance checkup.
And continuing with this checkup, let's talk about the homeowners and rental policies. Are there any things in particular, aside from perhaps taking a higher deductible, that you need to pay attention to when you're looking at those policies?
Well, you need to pay attention to the amount of insurance you have. We do have wildfire season, hurricane season on the East Coast coming up, and it's important to have enough to cover the rebuilding of your home, and replacing all your items. So if you added on that beautiful kitchen and family room that you've always wanted, it's important to let your insurance agent know that, so that if you have a loss, you can get all of it replaced. Very important to look at those costs. And, check in with a local builder. They'll tell you what the average cost in your particular area is. So that's important. On the homeowners, we always put off for a rainy day that we're going to do that home inventory of all our belongings. And there's no time like now to get that teenager or student that you have at home to do a video with their iPhone. Open all the cupboards, open all the closets, and go out to the garage. But do that home inventory and store it in the cloud. You'll be so happy you did if you have a loss.
And what if you have artwork? There are a lot of people who collect, or, they have a collection that they probably have insured through their homeowners or renters policy. And you just mentioned the importance of that video. Should you make a book and keep it in the cloud? What do you do then?
I would do that. And, if you have a lot of expensive artwork or even a few pieces or expensive jewelry or another type of collection, check in with your agent. We call it an insurance checkup, and that's what you're doing. You're doing your doctor checkup by teleconference. Well, do an insurance checkup. Maybe you should buy extra coverage, and it's not expensive, to cover that expensive art piece that you bought when you were traveling way back when we could travel.
Right.
And or your jewelry that you just are, receiving for Mother's Day, etc. Those things could be put on a policy that's called a floater or a rider, and that gives you extra coverage for any peril that happens to it. And you do want to have a photo of it and make sure that's stored in the cloud.
All right, great advice. Now, there's one other thing that I notice people are thinking about, and that's life insurance.
That's such a good point. And there's a couple types of life insurance. The less expensive type is called term life. And so you're buying that for shorter terms, but you can get more life insurance through that type of insurance. So maybe you still have a pretty big mortgage on your home or, other assets that if something happens to you, your family's going to be responsible for. So you want to have as much insurance, life insurance, as you can to cover all that. So term life is great. It's usually less expensive. Especially if you're a non-smoker, you don't use tobacco, or maybe you're in very good health. You're one of those gym rats who wishes you could be at the gym right now. But those will make it less expensive. Or, look at what your employer has to offer. Maybe they're offering some great group insurance, and you can get life insurance through that. Those are ways to save on life insurance. But the other type is called whole life or permanent, and that also has features, savings features, loan features, etc. And that's the type of insurance people keep for their whole life. So look at those and talk to an agent and find out what's really going to meet your needs on the life insurance side. But your loved ones will really appreciate it if something happens to you and you do have life insurance to help them through that time.
It's funny, I was on Facebook the other day and somebody posted, I sure hope that everyone has life insurance because I don't do GoFundMe. It's like, okay.
Oh, that's great. Oh, it's just such an important point to have life insurance, and there's so many ways to get it and types available. It's easy to come by. A lot of companies aren't requiring you to do in-person physicals right now, so definitely have life insurance be part of your checkup.
All right. Janet Ruiz, the Director of Strategic Communication for the Insurance Information Institute, has been my guest, and she shared with us how you can, remain savvy when it comes to your coverage during this COVID-19 crisis. It's a time, I think, when we're all being forced to really take a look at what we really want and need out of life and how we can protect not just ourselves, but our families as well. And for more than just a face mask, right? This is a whole life decision here that we're all making. So check out the website. It is www.iii.org. That's www.iii.org. Janet Ruiz, thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you.
My pleasure.